All right. So I am going to give you an example of that. So let's say that I have x squared minus 6x minus 7. This is standard form. So standard form is easy because you could do both vertex, and you could do both vertex and factored here. So that's what I'm going to do for number 1. So for vertex, I am going to complete the square. Remember that this is different from factoring, even though it's very similar where we're using the box. I'm going to divide by b, by 2. So that's going to be x minus 3, x minus 3. This is 9. But remember that I want a minus 7 right here. I don't want a positive 9. I want a negative 7. So to do so, I am going to have to subtract 16. So I have x minus 3 squared minus 16. So I have x minus 3 minus 16, and that gives me negative 7. Of course, make sure that you actually fill out the cells here. So you get a vertex form of x minus 3 squared minus 16. Now, factored form, remember this is me saying what times what will give me a negative 7, but will also add up to negative 6, okay? So factored form is what two numbers will multiply to negative 7 but will add up to negative 6? That's going to be negative 7 and positive 1. And now I'm going to box that. So I get x squared minus 7, negative 7x, and positive 1x. Box everything. You're going to get x right here because that's my GCF. The GCF of negative 7x and negative 7 is negative 7. The GCF of x squared, negative 7x is x. And then the GCF of 1x and negative 7 is 1 because there's not really a GCF. Now remember that you could always check your answer by multiplying back the factors that we have on the outside. So x times x is x squared. Negative 7 times x is negative 7x. Negative 7 times 1 is negative 7. 1 times x is 1x. So this tells me that my factored form is x minus 7 and x plus 1. And let me do that in a different color so that you know that it's factored form. All right, I'm going to do one more with you guys. So let's say that I have number 2 here, where I have vertex form, and I want to convert this into standard form and factored form. So I have vertex form right here. Remember that I can't go from vertex to factor, so I have to have my middleman, standard, to help me. So this means I have to do standard first, so that once I do standard, I can do factor. So here I am going to go ahead and multiply x minus 1 squared by using box. That's going to give me x squared minus 2x plus 1. I'm going to multiply by 3 here. And then, of course, I got to subtract 3. So if I multiply by 3 here, that's going to give me 3x squared minus 6x plus 3 minus 3 because of this minus 3 right here. And then if I do that, I'm going to get 3x squared minus 6x. So that is my standard form. And my Discord is popping off. That's crazy. All right, factored form. Notice how I don't have a C value. That's okay. For factored form, we're just going to look at the GCF here and tell me what the GCF is. You'll notice that the GCF for 3x squared minus 6x is going to be 3x. So I'm going to take out a 3x away, see what's left over. So if I do 3x squared over 3x, that's going to give me x. And if I do 6x and 3x, that's going to be minus 2. So I have my factor form being 3x and then x minus 2. Okay, I know that I said that number 2 was one more, but I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do vertex for this one. Now, I am going to go ahead and give you the little shortcut for vertex. Remember that you could always put this in the calculator. You can put this on Desmos. So whenever you have a coefficient, your leading coefficient being greater than 1 here, in this case this is 2, you will be able to use Desmos for vertex form, since we don't really know how to complete the square when a is greater than 1, and you won't be able to, we won't learn that in this class. So vertex form right here, I am going to go ahead and put this into the calculator on Desmos, and I am going to do x minus 3 and x plus 5. Now, this tells me that my vertex is at -1, comma, -32. Okay, -1, comma, -32. You'll also notice that your A value here is 2, because that's my leading coefficient. So this tells me that I have 2, x plus 1 squared, because my vertex is -1, and then I have minus 32. This right here is going to be your vertex form, okay? Now, to get standard form, you could either multiply this out or multiply this out. They will give you the same answers, so just whatever you want in terms of multiplying this all out or multiplying all of this out. Okay, so for practice, I want you guys to finish up number 3. We didn't do standard form. And then you guys do 4, 5, and 6 for practice. Your homework for tonight is going to be vertex to standard and standard to vertex on Delta Math. And of course, your test is going to be on Friday, April 5th. So just make sure that we are studying the topics that we did before spring break. I know it's been a while, but make sure we do that. And of course, oh, I forgot to tell you that the answers for these are here below. So you guys can check your work for this. And just FYI here, your test for this unit will be more FRQ heavy than multiple choice heavy. So you are going to see a lot more FRQs because we have lots of representations and lots of work that needs to be done in this unit. So be prepared for that on Friday too, your test day.